independent poll shows that I'll be elected. Very well then. Now I can afford to make some promises.
Hey there, it's Maud Garrett and welcome to another exciting episode of RT Essentials. Let's be honest, we all love validation, whether it be a friendly pat on the back, a financial bonus at work, an outpouring of Instagram likes on that bathroom mirror selfie, or like a golden Art Deco statue presented to you in front of an audience of millions as you wear a diamond Valentino dress and finally get to prove to all those naysayers that you made it. Big time. Really made it. Well done. Of course, I am talking about the Academy Awards, aka the Oscars, aka the most prestigious and renowned awards show in all of entertainment. And just as we love to root for our favourite sports teams and bask in the sunshine of success after a big win, we also love to see our favourite films and creatives take home awards for their contributions to cinema. And like the movies themselves, we love a surprise twist, an unexpected shock, an underdog that claws their way to the top, or an upset that throws expectations to the wind. And being that the Academy Awards have been around since 1929, those rip-roaring moments are plentiful. Without further ado, here are our picks for the most surprising award wins. Moonlight yoinks the win, 89th Academy Awards.
I'm done. Next set. He doesn't tell me what to do.
He just told you what to do.
I know, I let him. What's your name?
Mia?
Mia. Guess I'll see you in the movies.
Starting in 2017 at the 89th Academy Awards show, where the most coveted nomination was on the line, Best Picture. This year was particularly competitive, with an abundance of celebrated films going head-to-head. The nominees were Moonlight, Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, and Manchester by the Sea. Hit after hit with that one. But what made this win so shocking wasn't really the who, it was more the how. Here's the play-by-play of what has infamously been dubbed Envelope Gate. Not by us. We used it from someone else. Legendary actors Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway take the stage to present the victor. When Beatty opens the envelope, there's a long pause. He glances over at Dunaway, confused, then hands her the envelope, and she announces, La La Land. The audience applauds, the cast and crew take the stage, and the acceptance speeches commence. Seemed routine enough. That is, until the commotion and confusion broke out on stage, as La La Land producer Fred Berger was mid-speech. Berger then uttered the words, "We lost, by the way." Everyone looked around, befuddled. Then Jordan Horowitz, also a producer on La La Land, grabbed the mic to clarify, saying, "This is not a joke. Moonlight has won Best Picture."
Why you always calling me that?
What, Black?
Yeah, Black.
That's my nickname for you. You don't like it?
No, it's just... What kind of dude goes around giving other dudes nicknames?
The kind of dude what just sat down is about to put you onto this blunt.
As you can imagine, the audience gasped in shock and social media erupted. The hashtag #WhatIsHappening was trending on Twitter, and soon Beatty was under fire. In his defense, he was handed the wrong card, and what was mistaken as an attempt to be funny was actually genuine confusion as to what he was reading in that moment. He had been handed a duplicate of the Best Actress in a Leading Role card, which had been given to Emma Stone for La La Land. Beatty did his best to explain what had happened immediately following the chaos, but people were still trying to wrap their heads around what had just gone down. All in all, the cast and crew of La La Land handled the situation with grace and respect, and Moonlight accepted the Best Picture award they deserved all along. But this was the first time anything close to this had ever happened at the Academy Awards, and this moment has since been deemed as the worst flub in Oscar history by countless media sites and channels. Costner beats Scorsese, 63rd Academy Awards.
What do you mean?
Well, you know what I mean. He's gone. And we couldn't do nothing about it. That's it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
He's gone. He's gone. That's it.
The nominees were Kevin Costner, Dances with Wolves. Francis Ford Coppola, The Godfather Part 3. Martin Scorsese, Goodfellas. Stephen Frears, The Grifters. And Barbette Schroeder, Reversal of Fortune. Now, there was already an outspoken opinion among moviegoers and critics that Scorsese hadn't received the accolades he deserved in the past. After all, Raging Bull is largely considered to be one of the greatest films of the 1980s. But despite its 8 Oscar nominations and 2 wins, Scorsese lost Best Director and Best Picture. And Taxi Driver is considered to be one of the greatest films of the 1970s and didn't win any Oscars. With Goodfellas, there was absolutely no way Scorsese could lose out again. I mean, this film is arguably the director's pinnacle work, and this isn't one of those it got better in time situations. People loved this movie when it came out. People still love this movie, and it consistently makes it to the top of all-time greatest lists. Unfortunately, that little space that Scorsese had made on his shelf the night before the ceremony, you know, the one that would have perfectly fit a golden Oscar statue, would remain vacant. That's because Kevin Costner took home the Best Director award for his debut, Dances with Wolves. Now, don't get me wrong, Dances with Wolves is a fantastic film with a powerful message and story. But come on, this is Goodfellas we're talking about. Spider, go get your shine bugs. Oh, I'm terrible, but there are so many iconic scenes that fans still quote to this day. This win would further propel Scorsese's reputation as the king of snubs, and the director wouldn't win an Oscar until 2007 for his film, The Departed. 3 6 Mafia, rap recognized, 78th Academy Awards.
You tell me this fell out your pocket, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, what, man?
You know what you could do.
What can I do, man? You tell me what I can do, man.
You can suck my
Hey, bitch, why don't you suck on this?
Next, we look to the 78th Academy Awards, where history was made, and a genre that had been previously overlooked was now receiving the attention it deserved. That year, the nominees for Best Original Song were It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp by 3 6 Mafia, In the Deep by Bird York, and Travelin' Through by Dolly Parton. In what came as a surprise to many, 3 6 Mafia was victorious. Up until that night in 2006, a rap group had never won an Oscar, and only 3 years prior, Eminem had become the first rapper to ever win when Lose Yourself, the theme to 8 Mile, took home the award for Best Original Song. Rightfully so, that song rules. But of course the rapper was white.
Nola and I, we got a few points we'd like to talk about in regards to your agenda. As if you got a minute.
For you, Key, I got 11 months.
How did it take so long for the rap/hip-hop genre to finally start winning? We're talking about a genre that came to prominence back in the 70s, when the hip-hop trio, the Sugar Hill Gang, released their hit, Rapper's Delight. It took another 27 years for 3 6 Mafia to finally put hip-hop groups on the Oscars map. Not that this victory should come as a surprise, because once again, this song rules, but people were definitely shocked. Aside from the fact that it wasn't a big commercial success, like Lose Yourself, It's Hard Out There for a Pimp was also jam-packed with cuss words. I've said pimp 3 times now, including just then. Impressively, 3 6 Mafia managed to perform a television-appropriate version of the song that night, further making history by being the first hip-hop performance to ever grace the Oscar stage. Shakespeare beats Private Ryan, 71st Academy Awards.
Side stick, start with side stick. Move fast and clear those murder holes.
Want to see plenty of beef between men. 5 men is a juicy opportunity. 1 man's a waste of ammo.
Keep the sand out of your weapons. Keep those actions clear. I'll see you on the beach.
Spielberg's Saving Private Ryan was a monster hit, firing on all cinematic cylinders. The ensemble cast included Tom Hanks, Edward Burns, Matt Damon, and Tom Sizemore. The music was composed by John Williams, and Janusz Kaminski was the cinematographer. The film also grossed over $481 million and was called the finest war movie of our time by the New York Times. Needless to say, Saving Private Ryan was expected to win the Best Picture Oscar at the 71st Academy Awards ceremony in 1999. The nominees also included Shakespeare in Love, Elizabeth, Life is Beautiful, and The Thin Red Line. All excellent films, but let's face it, Elizabeth and The Thin Red Line were too similar to Saving Private Ryan and Shakespeare in Love, and not as highly regarded. And Life is Beautiful came out at a time when the odds were largely stacked against a foreign film winning in this category. So, this left Saving Private Ryan versus Shakespeare in Love. Of Saving Private Ryan's 11 Academy Award nominations, it won 5, including Best Cinematography, Best Sound, Best Sound Effects Editing, Best Film Editing, and of course, Best Director for Spielberg. It was only right to assume that Best Picture would also follow, but in a shocking turn of events that even Harrison Ford seemed surprised to announce, Shakespeare had won Best Picture. People were shocked. How did a World War II blockbuster smash, led by Tom Hanks, lose to a rom-com period piece, starring Ben Affleck?
I say this theater is closed.
Why, sir?
For lewdness and unshamefacedness, and for displaying a female on the public stage.
Simply put, the producers of Shakespeare in Love launched relentless campaigns leading up to awards season, with countless Q&As, screenings, parties for awards voters, and even subtle smear tactics orchestrated against Saving Private Ryan. It was an aggressive approach in an otherwise cordial and respectful arena. But it ended up working and set a new precedent in the industry for how films could win awards in the future and give themselves a leg up. It's called bribery. Saving Private Ryan's Best Picture loss is still considered one of the biggest snubs in Oscar history, and in a 2015 poll, Academy members indicated that if they were given a second chance, they'd award Saving Private Ryan Best Picture over Shakespeare in Love. Come on, you have one job, and that's to vote for the best film. Coleman won close nil, 91st Academy Awards.
Did you just look at me? Did you? Look at me! Look at me! How dare you! Close your eyes!
This next win took place at the 91st Academy Awards show in 2019 in the category of Best Actress in a Leading Role. The nominees were Olivia Colman, The Favourite; Yalitza Aparicio, Roma; Glenn Close, The Wife; Lady Gaga, A Star Is Born; and Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me? A powerhouse of talent, but not to play favourites. Mostly everyone expected Glenn Close to win. In fact, in her career that spans over 4 decades, Close has never won an Oscar, despite being nominated 8 times, and additionally receiving 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards, 3 Golden Globe Awards, 3 Primetime Emmy Awards, and 3 Tony Awards.
So, while I was out being a drunken lush, you were seducing the luscious Linnea?
Nothing happened.
Oh, don't you dare insult my intelligence. Don't you dare.
Even though Roma and The Favourite dominated the awards show that night, with 10 nominations each, Close was considered a shoo-in. But as we've learnt in the past, the Oscars don't always go as planned, and Olivia Colman ended up receiving the award for her role as Queen Anne. This came as a surprise to many, though Colman is obviously a superb actress, and especially magnetic in The Favourite. Close would end up facing off against Colman again at the 93rd Academy Awards in the Best Actress in a Supporting Role category, though both of them would lose to Ye Jung-yoon, who won for her performance in Minari. This nomination without a win makes Close the most award-snubbed actor in Oscar history, tied with Peter O'Toole. Rocky's underdog win, 49th Academy Awards.
Yeah, he's just, the champ is just taunting him now.
Don't trip, Steve.
Reed dancing around. Hey, I don't believe it! Hey, the champ is down.
Yes, he is.
Yo, Adrian, they did it! Rocky won Best Picture. It was the 49th Academy Awards in 1977, and aside from Rocky, the Best Picture nominees included All the President's Men, Bound for Glory, Network, and Taxi Driver. This was some serious competition, especially for a film that was produced on a budget of just under $1 million and starred an, at the time, relatively unknown actor named Sylvester Stallone. But hey, that's what Rocky was all about, being an underdog and fighting your way to the top. And that's exactly what this film did at the Oscars, receiving 10 nominations.
6 years you've been sticking it to me. I want to know how come.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I want to know how come.
You want to know?
I want to know how.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Because you had the talent to become a good fighter. And instead of that, you became a leg breaker. Some cheap, second-rate loan shark.
It's a living?
It's a waste of life.
Even still, nobody suspected the film could be a serious contender for Best Picture, especially with All the President's Men and Taxi Driver in the running. But Stallone's heartfelt sports drama had obviously struck a chord with the voters. As Jack Nicholson announced that Rocky and its producers, Irwin Winkler and Robert Chartoff, had won, the iconic theme song, Gonna Fly Now, you know the one, played throughout the theatre and in millions of homes across America. The victors took the stage, and Robert Chartoff thanked Stallone for sharing his dream of Rocky and for giving a performance that has enriched the lives of many. He also thanked the Academy for permitting Rocky, a 1,000,000-to-1 underdog, to go the distance that night. The surprise win felt like a scene from Rocky. Crash triumphs over favourites. 78th Academy Awards.
You son of a horse. I wish I knew how to quit you.
Why don't you just let me be, huh?
This next win falls into the category of shock and controversy. It was the 78th Academy Awards in 2006, and the Best Picture nominees were Crash, Brokeback Mountain, Capote, Good Night and Good Luck, and Munich. All excellent films in their own right, but Brokeback Mountain was the favoured Best Picture winner, receiving 8 nominations and winning 3, including Best Director. But as Nicholson glanced down at the envelope, leaned into the microphone and uttered, "And the Oscar goes to," nobody expected what he would say next. Crash. Even Nicholson himself stepped back, shook his head, and mouthed, "Wow," after he announced the winner. Producers Paul Haggis and Kathy Schulman took to the stage, accepted their awards, and the speeches commenced.
Now, that being said, it's your decision. You can put your career and mine on the line in pursuit of a just cause. Or you can admit to having an embarrassing problem of a personal nature.
Not that Crash didn't deserve its accolades, but many saw this win as a reflection of where the Academy stood on LGBT issues, opting for a safer choice instead of giving Brokeback Mountain the win. Crash was only the second film ever to win the Oscar for Best Picture, without having been nominated for any of the 3 Golden Globe Awards for Best Motion Picture. And though critics like Roger Ebert defended Crash's win, many publications fueled the controversy. Film Comment magazine placed Crash at #1 on their list of worst winners of Best Picture Oscars. And a 2014 survey of film critics done by The Atlantic identified this victory as one of the most glaring mistakes made by the Academy Awards. Crash ended up taking home 3 Oscars in total, but everyone will always remember their Best Picture win. Marissa Tomei's puzzling win, 65th Academy Awards.
Well, I hate to bring it up because I know you got enough pressure on you already, but we agreed to get married as soon as you won your first case. Meanwhile, 10 years later, my niece, the daughter of my sister, is getting married. My biological clock is ticking like this, and the way this case is going, I ain't never getting married.
Let's just preface this next selection by saying that Marissa Tomei is a force, and her performance as Mona Lisa Vito in My Cousin Vinny was revelatory. But did she deserve to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress at the 65th Academy Awards in 1993? Many feel that she did, but a great deal of others believe this was part of some larger conspiracy and that she was never meant to take home the award. The nominees that year were Tomei for My Cousin Vinny, Judy Davis for Husbands and Wives, Joan Plowright for Enchanted April, Vanessa Redgrave for Howard's End, and Miranda Richardson for Damage. Seasoned actresses Judy Davis and Vanessa Redgrave were the favoured winners, especially since My Cousin Vinny wasn't seen as being sophisticated enough for an Oscar nod. In fact, Best Supporting Actress was the only category it received a nomination in. And it didn't help that, at the time, Tomei was still a newcomer, having only been in 5 movies. Unfortunately, her win that night has always been tinged with controversy.
What else could we pile on? Is there any more we could pile on to the top of the outcome of this case? Is it possible?
Maybe it was a bad time to bring it up.
Rumours began circulating that she had received the award in error, and that presenter Jack Palance had been unable to correctly read the name on the winner's card. Major publications like The Hollywood Reporter wrote articles about such rumours, giving them undeserving attention, though denying their legitimacy. To this day, no rumours have been substantiated, and no legitimate proof of a conspiracy exists. Hey, maybe everyone needs to rewatch My Cousin Vinny and be reminded of why Tomei is the beloved star that she is today. Art Carney beats Pacino and Nicholson, 47th Academy Awards.
Tom, you know you surprised me. If anything in this life is certain, if history's taught us anything, it says you can kill anyone.
Would you want to go up against Dustin Hoffman, Jack Nicholson and Al Pacino in a competition for Best Actor? That would be like having to play Michael Jordan, LeBron James and Shaq in basketball. Nobody would expect you to win, but that's exactly what happened at the 47th Academy Awards in 1975, when Art Carney took home the Oscar for Best Actor. Carney was nominated for his role as Harry in Harry and Tonto, and the other nominees were Albert Finney for Murder on the Orient Express, Dustin Hoffman for Lenny, Jack Nicholson for Chinatown, and Al Pacino for The Godfather Part 2.
Did you see that? No. Fellow almost ran me over.
What kind of car?
I don't know, a big gray job.
Capitalist bastard.
What if it had been a Volkswagen?
Nazi bastard.
These are some of the all-time greatest actors, performing in some of the all-time greatest films at the very peak of their powers and creative output. So imagine the shock when Glenda Jackson announced that Carney was the winner that night. Carney's previous achievements had all been on television and stage, which included playing the iconic character Ed Norton on the sitcom The Honeymooners. But this was, and still is, the only Oscar Carney has ever received. It would be one thing if it was a lackluster year for movies, but we are talking about Chinatown and The Godfather 2. The website Film Buff Online places this win at the top of their list of Oscar's greatest mistakes and highlighted some of the theories surrounding this win. Some believed Carney was rewarded for overcoming his battle with alcoholism during the filming of Harry and Tonto. Others believe it was recognition for his long career in entertainment. One thing is for sure, this remains one of the most surprising award wins in Oscar history. How Green Was My Valley versus Citizen Kane, 14th Academy Awards.
I am not accustomed to speaking in public.
Only public houses.
But this, never use. It's against the rules. Break a man's nose. Now the...
And last up, we have the winner for Best Picture, aka Outstanding Motion Picture at the 14th Academy Awards in 1942. The nominees were How Green Was My Valley, Blossoms in the Dust, Citizen Kane, Here Comes Mr. Jordan, Hold Back the Dawn, The Little Foxes, The Maltese Falcon, One Foot in Heaven, Sergeant York, and Suspicion. I'm willing to bet that most people wouldn't be familiar with the majority of these nominees, but that almost everyone has heard of Citizen Kane. That's because Orson Welles' debut feature is considered by many critics and experts to be the single greatest film ever made. The definition of a classic and a masterpiece that seems to only become more relevant in time.
Hello, Charlie. I didn't know we were speaking. Sure we're speaking, Jedediah. You're fired.
Obviously, Citizen Kane should have won Best Picture on that historical Oscar night back in 1942. But, as I'm sure you've guessed by now, it didn't. In what might be the first Oscar snub ever, the 20th Century Fox film, How Green Was My Valley, took home the award for Best Picture, forever stunning audiences and critics alike. USA Today places this win at number 1 on their list of the 10 biggest Oscar snubs of all time. And even the 2020 film, Mank, which details the making of Citizen Kane, took home more Oscars than Citizen Kane itself. This win proves that awards don't always reach the hands of the most deserving winners. But it's that shock and surprise that keeps us coming back for more. Or bribery. And there you have it, our selections for the most surprising Academy Award wins. As always, we couldn't include every instance that might fall into this category, especially in the almost 100 years of the Oscars. But don't fret, there'll always be plenty more episodes of RT Essentials coming your way, so I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Thanks again for tuning in, I'm Maud Garrett, and always remember to double check that envelope before announcing the wrong winner in front of 33 million people.